notes from Tampa, and I've really sat down. I've watched. Guys, the most surprising thing was that I thought that Tampa, when they got beat by the Saints, that there was going to be a bunch of exotic looks and things like that Dennis Allen was doing. Really wasn't at all. They got after Brady with four-man pressure, occasional blitz, nothing really mind-blowing that you would say. Coverage was really, really good. Where teams, I feel like where teams are going to, and especially this game, I'm going to say this, you can't lose the middle of the field in this game. And I mean, you can't lose the middle of the field because that's where Tom Brady wants to throw the football. He wants to throw the ball in the middle of the field. It is an easier throw for him. When you watch him, and I watched the Saints games, I watched the playoff games with the Rams and the Eagles, he wants to throw the ball in the middle of the field. And it might be with his advancing age that the confidence about throwing the ball outside. Now, he could throw the vertical routes down the field to Evans. We see him with the touch some, but he really, on stuff intermediate to the wide side, he doesn't want to throw that. He wants to attack you in the middle because he feels like he sees things better in the middle of the field. He works off linebackers. He works off safeties. Mm-hmm. If he knows where your safeties are playing, he knows, okay, I can throw the ball right here. They with Gronkowski and stuff like that, that was something that was really big for him. Tight end, middle of the field. Then you get Godwin on the inside routes and stuff like that. Middle of the field. Every one of his throws that was really, really good that kept the chains going were middle of the field throws. And he was having success doing that. If you're the Cowboys and you're watching and you break down every pass he threw, and I was just saying, how many times is he going to throw the ball in the middle of the field? And it seems like that every single time of the games I watch.
Short throws, middle?
Just middle. It's like that maybe that 10 to 13 yards right in the middle. Yeah, it's not just dump, check down throws. It's like you got crossers, you've got tight end, a little bit of a tight end release. We call it an arc release where the tight end kind of works outside, then comes back to the inside. That's where he wants to throw the ball. It's just easier. He's much more accurate, I thought, just watching the tape, of throwing that ball to the inside there. So if you're the Cowboys, okay, we'll see how well Hooker, how well is he? I mean, because, will it be, okay, he's having to deal with Evans on a vertical, and now that takes him away, and then they got stuff coming underneath. Where is Curse going to be? Where are linebackers, drops, play action stuff? Is he going to, play action game holds linebackers, which creates voids between the safety and the linebackers. That's where Tom looks like he really wants to attack you. So I'm going to be fascinated to see, because the throws to the outside are throwaways, swings to the backs, not always accurate, on the outside with his throws.
Is he going to be able to do that without his center and left guard? Are you going to be able to get right in his face?
Well, this is where I think I believe this. I think both offensive lines are going to be fine in this game. And I'll say this because I think both quarterbacks are going to get rid of the football. I don't think either quarterback wants to hold the ball with any type of these guys are going to have the eternal clocks. I believe this is where Dak Prescott, Tom Brady is one of the absolute best at getting rid of the football when he's under pressure. If you look at the numbers, the metrics tell you that Dak under pressure is one of the best top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
I don't think either quarterback is going to want to hold the ball at all because of the compromise of their offensive lines. And a lot. I mean, both teams are dealing with rookie starters. Left guard for the Buccaneers, left tackle for you. So I just feel like, though, the team that finds a way to play better in the secondary is going to win this game. Because the matchup, and I honestly feel like that the Cowboys, with what we've seen, and this is going back through last year as well, with how Diggs played, how Browns played, Lewis, that's why I brought him up. That's why I brought up the talk about him, being available. Because I feel like that the Cowboys do have an advantage in the secondary here. So
I do too, but I feel like Tampa's advantage in their secondary is going to be bigger.
I don't think it's going to be the case. I don't think, me personally. Now I'm not disputing.
Noah Brown.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, this is where to me, this is where I kind of feel like that Noah Brown. It's not like they're starting a rookie with Noah Brown. I feel like Noah Brown we've seen some progress, but to me, there were times where Dallas wasn't even running the ball last year. Dallas didn't even try to run the ball in that game. Even though
you assume they can this time?
I'm saying this. I feel like, though, the Buccaneers will play a little bit looser coverage, and I don't think the Cowboys will. I don't think you could allow the Buccaneers to have these, like what we call free access and routes, and let Evans and Jones and these guys just run up the field and get open, because that's what Tom Brady wants. He wants that. He wants that ability to take the snap, throw the ball 7-8 yards, and then let somebody get up the field.
Yeah, because everything's about timing, quickness.
Exactly.
You want to get up in them. But isn't that what Dan Quinn and these guys want to do? Isn't it all about, hey, Trayvon, get up in these guys' faces? We're playing a lot of man.
Absolutely. To me, I play, and people say there's a size advantage but you know what? You have to do something to throw off their timing. You have to, when teams like the Saints covered very, very well, the Rams covered very well, threw off timing. You see, Tom was having to kind of deal like, okay, I want to get the ball out quick, but I'm just throwing it to a spot, and the coverage was there. I think the Cowboys do have an advantage with their secondary. I really do believe that. Now, what you mentioned though, Gavin, is they've got young players with Godecki and then also Hainsey at the center and the guard spot. This is where I think that when you talk about attacking the middle of the pocket, I'm doing stuff that I'm not just rushing up the field and say, okay, 1-on-1, let's see if we can win. I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this center guard combination. I'm going to make these guys have to block twists, and I'm bringing blitzes behind the twists. And so that's when you're talking about Micah Parsons, because I'll tell you where they might protect up front with the blockers they have. Leonard Fournette cannot pass block.
Okay,
that is a problem. And if Leonard Fournette's in the game and you know that, I make him have to block Micah Parsons as much as possible. Because Micah Parsons, I know, even if he has to go against a guard or a center, I think he can win. But I know for 100% of the time he could win against Fournette if he gets in that matchup, or any back that they decide, especially Fournette. But I specifically feel like that if Fournette has to pass block and Micah Parsons is the guy, Dallas is going to get pressure.
During OTAs, though, it looked like Fournette had been beefing up to maybe like be a guard or something like that. So who knows what he'll bring to the table this year.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Now, he's allegedly slimmed up a little bit, but OTAs Fournette would have probably given. I mean, if the injury to the center happened in OTAs instead of training camp, I think we're talking about Leonard Fournette snapping the football on Sunday.
Yeah, that was Leonard 40-net, Brian. Sorry.
Well, I make him block in this game. That's something. Keep an eye on.
Good,
that.
and Anthony Barr as well. I mean, didn't we see a lot of that with Anthony Barr with Zimmer and those A-gap blitzes that they like to do? And Barr made a career kind of blitzing right there.
The quicker you could get on Tom Brady before he gets the ball out, the better chance you have. Make him move a little bit, make him have to adjust, make him hold the ball a little bit. That's why I think that's where. Now, you have to be alert. And I said this when we were the pre-show meeting. You watch the Philadelphia game, Brady went no huddle. That's something you need to kind of worry about, because if the Cowboys are going to try and switch their front, and I mean front, get rushers on and off the field, whether it's Bohanna, whether it's how to get guys involved, Brady will go no huddle on you. And then all of a sudden, you're stuck with your personnel, maybe your base personnel on the field. So they have to be very mindful. If you can get incompletions, you can get. It's the minute that they start completing balls, running, complete, run. When they get in a little bit of a rhythm, that's when that no huddle stuff will start. So if you're the Cowboys, do the best you can to defend passes, stop the run the best you can. I'm interested but the Buccaneers say, let's be committed to trying to run the football, but that's something that's not in their MO. They have to prove, Dallas has to prove they can stop the run. Because if they don't stop the run, then you're in a situation where the no huddle stuff is going to happen.